Good evening, everybody. I'm Love Coach Scott Katamas, and welcome to Saturday Night Alive for the Global Peace Tribe. Wow, it's September 11th, 2021. Where were you 20 years ago? You know, this is one of those days that I would guess that every single one of you, and there are thousands who are either watching or will watch this, and I bet all of us can remember where we were exactly 20 years ago. It was one of those days, one of those moments. And so tonight we are going to have our own Saturday Night Alive version of really looking at the impact of that moment, but of course, in a Global Peace Tribe way. We are celebrating those people who have been making a difference to really bring more peace in the world. And we're doing it this week and again next week, really celebrating peace. And we have an amazing show for you tonight. We have some of our favorite wisdom keepers, two of our favorite musicians, and even one of our favorite magicians. So it's going to be a very special show. Now, for those of you watching on Facebook, come on in and join us. We have a really active Zoom room. And so it's very, very easy to join the Global Peace Tribe. Just go to globalpeacetribe.com, globalpeacetribe.com, and register. It takes like a minute. And what's nice is that way we have your email address. Don't worry, we're the only ones that are going to ever send you something. And what we will do is on Monday, we will send you access to the replay of tonight's show, and also how you can replay all of our previous shows. It's really important for us as we gather our friends together. We're building a beautiful community, a beautiful tribe. This is our 76th show. We started when the pandemic began. We haven't missed a Saturday night, and we don't intend to. So come and join us. And what's great too is then once you're in our Zoom room, it's much easier for you to communicate with our amazing presenters, our performers, and with each other. So again, please go to globalpeacetribe.com and join us. And a big shout out to all of our friends watching on the various Sign Network channels, and of course on Unify. And now to tell us more about the show and introduce us to tonight's presenters, here is my partner, Deborah Giusti.
Thank you, Scott, and welcome everyone to what's going to be another amazing show that we're presenting for you. This is in the middle of our last month of season 6, an incredible mix, and we're so happy you're joining us. And again, we thank you so much for your donations when you register. We provide the show for free to you, but we appreciate all your donations because that's what really allows us to produce this show to you every single week. And we now have a new donation portal for Saturday Night Live in the Global Peace Tribe, which is supportgpt.com, where all your donations are tax deductible. So thank you so much. And yes, our theme is transforming tragedy into rejuvenation. We are going to be celebrating 11 days of global unity. What a powerful day today, as people all over the world are reflecting on the tragedy of 20 years ago, known as 9/11. It's a morning that everyone in our United States remembers as we all watch the Twin Towers fall. We are mourning the loss of so many lives and major shifts in our country's trajectory into war. And most everyone experienced this deeply horrific experience. And we witnessed continued unfortunate choices of our country that have influenced what we are experiencing today. So on this 20th anniversary, Saturday Night Alive is dedicated to find the balance of remembering 9/11 while celebrating those heroes that are actively creating peace now in our world. We're grateful to have Andrew Harvey as a keynote speaker, as he is one of the most passionate sacred activists in our world today. And we're also excited about our collaboration on this show with Rick Ulfik and the 11 Days of Global Unity. And we also have an amazing group of presenters that are dedicated to healing the country and creating peace in the world now. So I'd like to present them to you now. We will be featuring Andrew Harvey, who is an internationally acclaimed writer, poet, translator, and mystical teacher. He's the author of 40 books, and he's taught all over the world. And he specializes in sacred activism. We are also going to feature Rabbi Lerner. He has authored many books. He's lectured on college campuses around the world. Utne Reader called him one of America's most significant visionaries, and the Dalai Lama has honored him for his peace work. We are really happy to have Hazel Henderson. She is the founder of Ethical Markets Media, a certified B Corporation. She is a world-renowned futurist, syndicated columnist, and author of award-winning Ethical Markets. Hello, Hazel. And we're very happy to have Dr. Kurt Johnson. He's a prominent figure of international communities, particularly in the United Nations. He's co-authored several influential award-winning books, including Our Moment of Choice. He has a PhD in evolution and ecology, and has authored over 200 scientific articles and books. We also have with us Sharon Ray. She is a family relationships and communication coach, and she is the founder of Whole Family Coaching. Sharon is a creator of Company Coach and Global Movement. And we're really happy to have Rick Ulfik, who's the founder of We the World, as well as the campaign that is happening now, co-creator of annual 11 Days of Global Unity. And we always have incredible musicians. We're going to have Marya, who is award-winning vocalist, composer, producer, performer, and multi-instrumentalist. We will also be featuring Valerie Romanov. She is the co-founder and world-renowned Starlight Orchestra. She creates musical experiences through concerts and workshops by tapping into the vibration of music and the energy that surrounds us. And we're so happy to have Paul Draper, who's a comedy presenter, mind reader, speaker, who has appeared on the History Channel, A&E, HBO, Hallmark, Travel Channel, and many other shows to present incredible magic for us. And most every show, we inspire sharing the green love, where we inspire support of either an individual or a valuable community organization with your donations. We use the power of community where everyone gives something, whether it's $500 or $500, where through the power of community, we can make a huge difference for these individuals in need or organizations that are making a difference in people's lives. So our Green Love campaign today is going to go to Moondog Farm, who is a small animal foster care nonprofit organization. They take in animals that are needing of healing and care and love, and they work with them so that they're ready to go into foster homes. It's really important not to also create peace with our animal family all around the world. So I'm going to put donation link in the chat room. So please donate generously to Moondog Farm tonight. So tonight we have Rick Ulfik with us as a collaborative partner. We're so happy he's brought this incredible group of presenters. He's the founder of We the World and We Campaign, which is an international coalition building organization whose mission is to maximize social change globally for a world that works for all. And he's creator of the 11 Days of Global Unity, which is starting today, September 11th through September 21st, which he is going to share with you about. So Rick, please share with us your inspiration for this show and what's taking place in the world right now. So happy to have you with us.
It's great to be on with you. Thank you so much, Deborah and Scott. What an exciting show we have today. So as Deborah said, yes, my name is Rick Ulfik. I'm founder of We the World at we.net. You know, it's all about we. We like to say we want to go from a me society to a we society. So, and yes, I co-created the concept of 11 Days of Global Unity. I want to give a shout out to my dear friend, Troy Lush. The two of us came up with that many years ago. And here's the story. 20 years ago today, in 2001, the International Day of Peace was scheduled to be celebrated at the opening session of the UN General Assembly in September, as it had been every year up to that point. Unfortunately, the celebration never happened because of the terrorist attacks of 9/11. The UN permanently put the International Day of Peace on September 21st from 2002 on. At We the World, we commemorated that movement of Peace Day from September 11th to September 21st as the journey from fear to hope. And we call that span of time 11 days of global unity, a time every year when people and organizations worldwide demonstrate that we can come together to solve humanity's greatest challenges. We invite you to collaborate on the 11 campaigns for change that developed out of 11 Days of Global Unity by going to we.net. And in particular, we are launching a new exciting campaign that I want to mention because some of today's guests like Hazel Henderson and Kurt Johnson are also involved with this new exciting campaign called We Power America Renewable Energy Media Campaign and Movement. To get involved with that, you can go to we.net/WPA for We Power America. And that's about it. We'll talk more. And I'm so excited for the show that we have tonight. Back to you, Scott.
Thank you, Rick. Thank you very much. So as we put these shows together, it's beautiful because we have so many wonderful friends, musicians, presenters, and we realized Valerie Romanov would be the perfect musician to be with us. First of all, we love Valerie. She's one of our faves. But Valerie's from New York. She lives in New York now. She was there 20 years ago. So to share briefly about her experience of 9/11 and to get us going with some music, here is Valerie Romanov.
Thank you, Scott and Deborah and everybody. It's especially wonderful to be here. We're talking about transformation and we're talking about taking something that has pain to it and bringing it into something that has jubilation was your word. And I love that because music is such a tool. You know, music is a tool to take us from here to there. And songs have messages in them and have reminders in them. And the song that I have chosen to kind of kick off this has a very special message in it. But yes, I was in New York on September 11th, and I was sharing with you earlier, it was such a beautiful, vibrant morning. It was just like one of those amazing to be alive mornings, you know, with just the nature. And then, you know, boom, this thing happened that was so unthinkable. And there was an incredible coming together of the community of people in New York City that day and the days that followed. And it was really feeling, you know, the hearts were together. And I had been doing music for positivity, but that was really a turning point. I really wanted to devote my life to music that was positive energy, positive message, and to find that place of transformation in the music. So I just want to say that the song that I'm going to play, I did a recording of it in my studio yesterday. I recorded some of it, and then I brought in footage from some other events where I performed that song with some of my band members and some of my collaborators. So it's a real, and I also, there's parts you can sing along. So I put some of the words in there, and you'll see, you'll hear. But that's my offering for this moment.
Fantastic. Thank you, Valerie. Here we go. Let's take a look.
There's just one message, people, straight from the heart. Love is the message, people. It's who we are. Come on, come on. The door is open. Come big, come small. You are all welcome. Join in, sit down. The tide is turning. Jump up, get down. The floor is burning. Joy, we're gonna raise the roof with good vibrations. There's just one message, people, straight from the heart. Love is the message, people. It's who we are. Lay back, rewind. Where's your attention? It flows and goes in that direction. Each move we make is transformation. There's so much love across all nations. Oh, may every step we take be filled with kindness. Peace. Allow the power that's already in us. Truth will be respected and protected. Joy, we're gonna raise the roof with good vibrations. Love is on the rise. No need to choose a side. Love will have its revolution. Baby, baby, there's no stopping evolution. When we stand together, come on, let's walk together. It's time to dance together. Wanna see you talk together. I'd like to pray together. Come on now, get together. It's time to pray together. I'd like to dance together.
Oh, that was great, Valerie. That was just perfect. Just perfect. You know, I want to let people know about Valerie. She's going to come back. She's going to do a live song a little bit later on in the show. But you can learn all about the amazing many things that Valerie Romanoff is doing by going to ValerieRomanoffMusic.com. ValerieRomanoffMusic.com. And as you just saw her band Starlight, she's got Music for Peace and Happiness. She does happy life coaching workshops. She's got music, she's got albums. She's doing a lot. Anything you want to emphasize, Valerie?
I just want to make mention of this month of September. My girlfriend Shay Condro, who is out in Sedona, Arizona, is kicking off Follow the Peace Trail. It's a whole, well, it starts in September in honor, of course, of International Day of Peace, and it'll continue throughout the whole world and the whole year and on from there. And Shay will be hosting interviews and talks and meditations and music on Follow the Peace Trail Facebook page and YouTube channel. And I just wanted to draw some attention to that. I'll be doing a lot of music with her on that show too.
Valerie, since we just talked about this, send me those links.
Yes.
And the second number, I'll pull the links up. Okay.
Oh, good. Okay. Well, Shay's here with us in the Zoom room, so she'll put
Oh,
them in
well,
there.
I will bring her on just like last time. So Shay, be prepared. I'm going to bring you into the panel room. All right. Thank you so much. And now to introduce our very first presenter, here is Rick. You're on, Rick.
Okay, yeah, I had to unmute myself there. Thank you, and that was wonderful. I was dancing away, Valerie. That was really just rejuvenating right there. So Hazel Henderson is a dear friend and collaborator with me and We the World for many years. She's a visionary thinker and an acclaimed evolutionary economist. That's what some people call her, and I totally agree. She was one of the co-chairs who helped to launch 11 Days of Global Unity in 2004, along with Jane Goodall, Desmond Tutu, and Marianne Williamson. And Hazel is president of Ethical Markets Media and the author of Mapping the Global Transition to the Solar Age. Welcome to the show, Hazel Henderson. And you have to unmute yourself, Hazel. The 4 most used words during COVID. Please unmute yourself.
Okay. Thank you, dear Rick. It's such an honor to be introduced by Rick Ulfik, an incredible human being. And I loved listening to Valerie. And she reminded us all of the truth, that we are all one, we human beings, we human family. And the DNA now confirms that. And so what I wanted to do just for a minute or two is to remind us all that there is very, very ancient wisdom codifying our human interdependence, which goes back to the beginning of human thought at the very beginning. And that is the golden rule, which really codifies our relationships with each other. And if you go on Wikipedia, you will find about 50 pages devoted to the golden rule. And basically, do as you would be done by. And it acknowledges the truth that we really are one human family. And it's the basis of all of our ethics and mutuality and the behavior, not only in our families and communities and nations, but also internationally. All of the international treaties are based on the Golden Rule, this idea of mutual rights and responsibilities to each other. And the Golden Rule really was what enables us to begin to trust each other and acknowledging that this has sort of been an evolution of human awareness of our interdependence. And we have built on each other for generations of the knowledge of all of this. And so what I found looking at this is the way the Golden Rule has been translated since the 1st century AD, when Jesus used it. And he said, do unto others as you would have others do unto you. And also Muhammad said it. And it goes back to Confucius and the Buddha, Plato. So almost everybody all of the wise people have relied on the Golden Rule. And what we are trying to do at Ethical Markets And of course, we don't take any advertising or anything like that. We are a certified B Corporation, and all of our material on our site is freely downloadable and available to everybody. But basically, the golden rule is also the only way markets actually work. We have to have trust. And so it's really fundamental. And so basically, my vision for our future, and most of my books have been on this subject, is the transition that's going on now globally away from fossil fuels, which are causing the climate change and all the problems we're dealing with, and the shift now to what I call the solar age. So I want to read you a poem, one of my poems, which is called Ode to the Solar Age. Entering the age of light, a new age of enlightenment, humans awakening to the solar age. Envisioned for centuries by many peoples on earth, those who worship the sun, saw land and fire as sacred, living with earth and winds, respecting the four directions. Yet hordes of strutting conquerors brought globalization and the vaunted industrial era, weaponizing ancient tools, money, and markets, narrowing relationships of caring, sharing, and mutual respect, the ancient golden rule of community, mathematizing exploitation, false metrics concealing the pain, devastation of the Anthropocene age, hidden by illusions of abstraction, destruction of other lives and species, marketing it as progress and success. The planet's wake-up call arriving in pandemics and climate catastrophes. Humans now face graduation time. Are we fit to continue on this earth? Tested now before allowing our ambition to colonize our solar system as an interplanetary species. We need first to learn our true situation living with other species, dependent on our still hospitable planet, powered by the daily photon shower from our mother star, the sun. Learning at last from green plants their ways of harvesting those free daily photons with photosynthesis, life's primary technology, besting all human techne as merely biomimicry. Plants producing food and sustenance, inhaling our CO2 and providing us with oxygen. No need to dig deep in the Earth's crust for fossil oil, coal, or minerals. Solar cells, wind turbines, geothermal, and ocean energies, all stored and distributed by the highest element, hydrogen. All provide, beyond our dreams, healthy lifestyles, enough for all. No need to compete. Instead, joy in sharing and communing in all our communities, families, tribes, and nations, face to face and in cyberspace, as our beloved children are teaching. Released at last from conceptual prisons, recycling our cultures and theories, freedom from cognitive limits, academic boundaries and silos, a new age of enlightenment for all, healing ourselves in the earth, replanting, rewilding lands, rivers, and forests, fulfilling at last the promise of generations of fire and sun worshippers in this new age of light, the solar age. Thank you.
Wow. Thank you so much, Hazel. Before you go, because this is Hazel's first time on our show, and hopefully she'll be back. And with all of our presenters, there's so much more. Hazel, one of the things that I really appreciate that you've created, she runs the Ethical Marketplace, 40 years of foresight, insight, and integrity. And it's a powerful website. There's a lot going on here, a lot of very important podcasts, and that's at ethicalmarkets.com, ethicalmarkets.com. And something that Hazel created quite a while ago that's so important today in this day of climate change is a report on green transition, the Green Transition Scoreboard. And just, can you tell us briefly about this, Hazel?
Yes, we started the Green Transition Scoreboard in 2009. And what we decided to do was to track all the private investments we saw going into solar, wind, energy efficiency, LED lighting, electric vehicles, all of the new technologies. And at that time, the mainstream financial media never covered anything like that, which was really why I started Ethical Markets Media. And so what our model was that we said, if every year between 2010 and 2020, at least $1 trillion we can track having gone into all of these new solar age technologies, that by 2020, we would have enough investment in the pipeline to actually leave the fossil fuel era and move into the solar age. And guess what? The last report we did in 2020, we found at least $10.3 trillion had gone into all of these technologies. And so we realize now that with that much investment, and this is all by private citizens, this is not governments, that if that much investment was now in the solar age technologies, that basically the fossil fuel era is really on the wrong side of history. And we're coming up to this UN conference in Scotland, called the COP26 conference, and all of the countries in the world now. It's amazing the progress that we've seen just since the pandemic, and the fact that now we've got all of these evidence of climate change. And so all around the world, the polls show that people now are driving the politicians and everything is speeding up. And of course, we know this from biology, that change and evolution, it always happens with stress. And basically, we're all being stressed right now. We all have to take a deep breath because we are riding the tiger of change. And we also know that evolution never happens in nice, neat, straight lines. It always happens with jumps that biologists call punctuated equilibrium. So we are going through a massive jump. And right now, things which we thought were impossible, like how quickly solar energy is taking over, they are now happening in real time. These stocks are now in the mainstream. Wow. So this is our work. And thank you, Scott, for letting me talk about that.
Thank you. You know, we periodically do environmental shows, and we're going to do one in October. I'm going to invite you to come back and talk on that show. Hopefully that'll work out.
I'd love to. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Hazel.
Thank you.
And some wonderful comments. Our dear friends, Alan and Son, I'm actually going to put the spotlight on them a little bit later on tonight, wrote, "No doubt, the truth delivered with love shall truly set us free." Absolutely, Al and Son. All right. So as you know, we raise money. And actually, I'm going to probably have to raise the number. I mean, if we figure it out, I think at this point, we've probably raised about $125,000. Sometimes it's for individuals dealing with cancer or homes that have burned down. Sometimes it's nonprofit organizations. Tonight, we are sponsoring a wonderful animal sanctuary. My dear friend Andrew Harvey is who said, Scott, I will be on your show, but you've got to support my friend. So I said, we will do it. And so this is a video that Andrew and his friend Jill put together to tell us all about the Moondog Farm. Let's take a look.
Hello, everyone. It's Andrew Harvey, and I've been talking about sacred activism, and I'm so thrilled to be able to present to you someone I love very much and who inspires the hell out of me with the amazing work that she's doing. She's my beloved friend. She's a collaborator that I created sacred activism with, and she's doing this extraordinary work. She has what she calls Moondog Farm, a little farm out in the country, and she gathers broken and shattered animals in that farm and looks after them, because she knows that what we need for the future is a completely new relationship with the creation. But she doesn't just think about it, she puts her whole life on the stake for it. So she's really acting out the depths of her love. It's such a wonderful thing. So I'm inviting you to donate generously to her great work. That would give me great joy and will give you great joy. And now, Jill, I've got her in her car. She's on some wild mission. Tell us about Moondog Farm and why this work means so much to you.
Well, first, hi there, everybody. Secondly, Andrew, from the bottom of the depths of my heart, thank you. Our collaboration is amazing and incredible, and thank you for being a guide and a confidant and an angel looking over what my husband Scott and I do. So for those of you who are listening.
I'm so proud of you, darling. I'm so proud of you. Because it's such an honor. Yeah.
Years ago, I made my way into seeing a friend that I hadn't seen in years who worked at an open intake shelter. An open intake shelter means that no animals can be turned away. That's a good thing. The hard and honest truth of it is that when there's too many animals and the rescues don't stand up to come and get them, or the rescues, which more often than anything is overwrought with animals ourselves, euthanasia will happen, and those animals will start to lose their lives for cage space. And then there's normally a social outcry of people who we all refer to as keyboard warriors who think that the answer is, well, just go take them. But some of these animals have special needs. They have behavioral issues. They have to be the only animal. They have high costing medical issues. So we need angels, and we also we need people that are referred to as unicorns. Unicorns are the specialty, no other children, no other animals in the house that can take some of those behavioral animals or those highly needed special needs medical animals. And Scott and I would foster those. And I wait tables part-time to help afford care. So after a while, after numbers of them came through our home, we decided to start what we call the Moondog Farm for my love of the moon and dogs. So we moved to the Illinois-Indiana border. We live on an acre in a fixer-up, modest cottage type home that we are surrounded by those that we've taken in. Our main focus is hospice, special needs. So we've had some wheelchair dogs. In fact, currently I have a white shepherd named Buddha, and Buddha doesn't have back legs. His legs are malformed. And so Buddha's in a chair. We have some of those specialty unadoptable dogs that have become part of our own pack. And then after working with a chain of pet stores, one specific pet store came to us and said, would you be interested in helping us get more guinea pigs and rabbits available for adoption? Wow. So I am honored to share that in the last 4 years, I believe we just broke over 1,000 guinea pigs and rabbits that we've taken in. Good. And some of them have been very medically compromised. Rabbits, for those that don't know, rabbits gestation is 28 days. hence the phrase multiply like rabbits. So all of our rabbits are microchipped and spayed and neutered before they are adopted out to help with population control in large colonies that can form, because many people like to let them go when they don't know what to do. And rabbits and guinea pigs are prey animals, so that makes them surviving out on their own almost impossible. So here we are. It's been an incredible journey that I wouldn't change for anything, and it's been nothing short of beyond frustration and many tears. We also foster dogs too. So those that aren't sanctuaried with us, we foster for another great, amazing organization named Trio. I think 45 to 50 of Trio's dogs have come through our doors and have gone on and found their forever homes as well. When you're called, you better step in, or God's going to make sure you will anyway. And that was us.
I love the way you ended that. You
It's
have
true.
stepped in, darling. It is absolutely true. What she does is at the heart of everything I love and believe in the world. She's looking after vulnerable, voiceless animals. And there's an epidemic of animal cruelty at the moment, which shows just how crazy we become as human beings. And beyond all Jill's efficiency, you heard her just describe it so well, so punchily. She knows exactly what she's doing. What propels that is a vast, vast, burning, compassionate heart. So please join me in really celebrating this marvelous woman, the work she does, but also in donating to Moondog Farm, because as with all the great work in the world, let's just get real, all the real work out there desperately needs money, because it's pioneering work, it's edgy work, it's work in which people, ordinary, extraordinary people like yourselves, not with fancy cars and huge bank accounts, but people who just want to do something from their hearts.
True.
They always have to risk not having enough funds. And that's what you've been, so far God has been very good to you, but now it's time to do so many things that you know you need, you can do, and you need some real funds to help secure that now.
Thank you so much, Andrew. Thank you, Jill. And I'm going to bring up a Q code. We've started using this every week, and it's a wonderful way to make it nice and easy for everybody to donate. So what you're going to do is you're going to take your trusty little cell phone. You're going to go to your camera function, and you're going to go up, just go right towards the dinosaur. And you're going to see in the upper top, it says open a code. And it's going to take you to the Moondog Farm where you can donate. Now, come on, everybody, you can all do this. And I'm going to donate right now while we're talking, or while I'm talking. This takes you straight to Moondog Farm. And even if it's only $5 that you can donate, whatever you can put in, please donate, be generous. This woman, Jill, is remarkable. I had several phone conversations with her, and she is the real deal. So she is really very, very special, and we want to support her. I'm donating right now, $44 as we talk, and putting in my PayPal information. And I want to encourage you to do the same. So again, just take your camera, go right up there. Now, if you don't want to use the camera function, Deborah has been putting into the chat box the link, so you can do it that way. I'm now getting the security check. Isn't that a tricky one? And they don't make it easy. How many cars? I don't know. Is that a little car in that tiny box? It's always hard to tell. Now I got to check the new images. How many cars? I can't tell how many cars there are. Oh, there we go. How many buses? Now I'm at buses. There we go. I think I got all the buses. There we go. All right. So please donate generously. And by the way, if any of you have nonprofit organizations that you really strongly believe in, or if there's someone that you know that's really in need, especially members of our community, please email us the information and we'll take that into consideration. I'm still on the security check. This is silly. Is anybody else having all this? Am I the only person that has to go through like 16 different security checks to give away my money? Is anybody else having that issue? Bicycles, now I'm at bicycles. I've gone to crosswalks, bicycles. I tell you. All right, so there we go. Finally got through. And again, thank you everybody for being generous with your donations. Thank you, Deborah, for putting that up. And now we'll take a look at what's next on the agenda. Deborah is going to introduce Marya Stark for some music.
Yes, and thank you all for your donations. It really makes a big difference. And what an amazing show tonight. And we are going to continue to raise the energy with some music. Marya is a performer that's been with us several times. We love her music. She's an award-winning vocalist, composer, producer, performer, multi-instrumentalist. She is the founder of the Temple of Muse, where she's a mentor for the art of voice and songwriting, working with those that are passionate about refining their personal sound and developing their unique genius and bringing their creative visions to life. So thank you, Marya, for being with us again, and please bless us with your amazing sound.
Thank you, Deborah. It's an honor to be here, tuning in from Grass Valley today, where we just had a beautiful day yesterday of rain, much needed rain here in California. And inspired by this topic, from tragedy to rejuvenation and just coming in through the rain, I am inspired to share this song called Blood of the Stone, which is actually a phrase that is refers to the smell of rain on dust, this petrichor smell that when we smell it, we have this euphoric, ecstatic experience of it. And it is believed that that's because when we've developed this ecstasy in smelling this energy of relief, that the rains are coming, that means the nourishment is coming, that means the foods are coming. And we're going to survive as a species. And when I take into account massive transitions and tragedies and these experiences that shock us, it can feel sometimes like being in a desert, like, whoa, are we still connected with the flow of rejuvenation in life and the life-giving energies? And there's a powerful thing that can happen when we come together as a community to mourn together, to honor loss together, and to reconnect with the beauty of that euphoria, that is that joy that walks with sorrow as a part of having an open heart that is available to be with the complexity of life. So I offer this song, Blood of the Stone, as part of the medicine of continuing to open through the complexities of challenges and tragedies that life continues to offer as part of our human experience. And may we continue to open to the power of the waters within to flow generously and allow us to experience that euphoria of continuing to move towards life. Was a desert storm when I awoke and walked out into the sand clouds, the color of a lucid dream. Heaven's voice was singing down in the light, crashing through rare tears, cascading sheets that called in a prayer, and I could smell it in the air. Blood of the stone, blood of the stone, blood of the stone. Blood of the stone. stars gathered in the far skies behind the walls of rest, neath the dusted rocks where the red-tailed hawk circled many rounds, tailing down towards its vision. Questions I am asking with my mystic gaze upon the changes of the moon, the phrases of the womb, the blood of the stone, blood of the stone, blood of the stone, blood of the stone, monsoon. Shatter me into mythic wakefulness, that I might drink the full chalice of wisdom in this single instant, a full source reunion, a desert kiss, cleansing our history. Blood of the stone, iron streams that are leading us home, ancient bliss in the smell of the waters to come, purifying all that was lost to this land. Blood of the stone, iron streams that are leading us home, ancient bliss in the smell of the waters to come, purifying all that was lost to this land. Blood of the stone, iron streams that are leading us home, ancient bliss in the smell of the waters to come, purifying all that was lost to this land. Blood of the stone, iron streams leading us home, ancient bliss, waters to come that purify.
Oh, Marya, so beautiful. Just
Thank you.
Marya's going to be back for a second song, in fact, to close out our show tonight. But all things Marya do have an online home at templeofthemuse.com. Templeofthemuse.com. And I love that image of you welcoming us, Marya. Is there anything you want people to especially know on your website here?
Yeah, I'd love to invite people to come check out Voice of My Womb, which is an offering that I have come up that's a 9-month journey for folks who have wombs, that we're going to be going on a journey of working with expressive arts, vocal alchemy, different ritual creativity processes to work with our lived experiences, rites of passage, moving through big, juicy experiences that we've had in our lives and working with it to harvest the lessons, the magic, and bringing that into, anchoring into our full creative potential. So it's for artists, for visionaries, for women who want to go through an alchemical rebirthing with their relationship with their voice, their womb, and their creativity.
Wow, that looks just beautiful. I wish that I was of a different gender. But, and perfect timing, it starts October 5th. So I see that people can apply now. So if you're interested, go to templeofthemuse.com and then click on the rose petaled path, Voice of My Womb, and then that'll take you, if you scroll down, to where you can apply.
Thank you, Scott.
And we'll see you in a little while. Thank you so much. All right. What an amazing show this is, huh? Just so deep. All right. Well, we have another wonderful presenter. And to introduce our next presenter, we're going back to our co-host. Here's Rick.
Hello. So wonderful. What a variety of people's work and life mission right? So up next is Sharon Ria, who is a dear friend of mine, and she is also coordinator of We the World's campaign for unity. She works as a life and family coach and as an executive communications trainer. And she is the founder of the global movement, No Judgment, Just Love. And she is also the founder of Comfy Couch Conversations. Welcome to the show, Sharon Ria. And I think you have to unmute yourself, like everybody.
Oh my goodness, I thought I'd done that. Shucks. Okay. Well, thank you so much, Rick, my dear friend. I'm so grateful for you always being a champion for everyone, and especially myself. It is such an honor to be here on Saturday Night Alive for the first time. Thank you, friends, for welcoming me. And thank you to everyone who's tuning in. I see some people that I know, which is really cool. In the space of the coordinator for the Campaign of Unity, we get to start off these 11 days of global unity talking about unifying us. What does that mean? How do we get there? And I'd like to say just a little bit of that and then work with the theme from Saturday Night Alive, which is tragedy to regeneration. But for unity, what I've found is that it's a challenging word for many people. If you're in a community or a place where people are pretty similar, it's kind of easy to feel unified. But there have been so many divisions in our country over the years since 9/11, and especially what I'm finding in the past couple of years. It's very difficult to become unified with someone who you just vehemently disagree with, who someone is doing something harmful to themselves or to others. And so I'd like to offer an opportunity to read C. Joy Bell C. She has a wonderful quote about what unity is. We are all equal in the fact that we are all different. We are all the same in the fact that we will never be the same. We are all united by the reality that all colors and all cultures are distinct and individual. We are harmonious in the reality that we are all held to the earth by the same gravity. And we don't share blood, but we all share the air that keeps us alive. And in that space and in those words, I think unity can be found. But as I ponder from the space of no judgment, just love, the phrase tragedy to regeneration, and I saw some people writing this in the chat, we are like a stew, this whole global family. And when you make a stew, you want to make sure you have the freshest, the most delicious, the most enticing ingredients. And so that is my gift to the world, is helping each individual person cultivate their own self-love. Because many of us have experienced tragedies in our lives. Collectively, it's 9/11. And individually, whatever happened when you were little, whatever happened when you were in your middle age, whatever happened to you even as an elder, causes you to see the world through some pain. And when you see through pain, it's very difficult to find hope. It's very difficult to see others as valuable. So I offer the opportunity for us to begin with ourselves. Spend some time in no judgment for you. Really think about all the things that you are that you revere, all the things that you are that you might be a little fearful about. You don't have to fix them. You just acknowledge them. Then when you look out to the world, you can recognize that each of us has a story. Each of us has something behind that face that we show to the world that will cause us to not be able to become unified. But I have hope. And I'd like to share 2 opportunities that I've done with 2 communities where you would think there would be not much hope. And that's in the space of No Judgment, Just Love. I had the opportunity to go into a prison, a women's prison here in Arizona, and work with the women. And I walked in, they were all perfect in my eyes. And when you see someone that way, when you see their magnificence, they get to see it as well. The second one was after George Floyd died. Many of us were questioning our racism, questioning how we treat each other. And so in the comfy couch conversations, you come to, and I actually have a comfy couch in my house that I coach on. But this is a virtual comfy couch where you're invited into a safe space, where no one will interrupt you. No one will judge you. No one will offer any opinion. You get to speak from your heart and talk about what is in your heart uninterrupted. In our world, we don't get a chance to really hear our thoughts out loud. We can think them in our heads, but out loud is such a value to us so we can hear what we're thinking. Often people will cut us off. Often people will judge us or just disregard what we're saying. So I invite you to come to the comfy couch and explore your own personal self. And so as I finish my talk, I'd like to offer 3 tangible ways, as Rick says, some action items. The first is, it begins with you. The unity in our world begins with you. So cultivate yourself. Cultivate that self-love that you can then look out at all the rest of us and see the same. And then be courageous to go from fear to hope. In our world, when we're looking at people, we're also often fearful and afraid of what are they going to do. But I invite you to relax that just a bit and look for the courage to see people as whole. And then if you can do that, whenever you're willing, just say hi to someone. They don't have to respond to you. Just offer a smile and a greeting and move along. Thank you so much.
Oh, sure. This is just beautiful. People are really enjoying very much. A lot of comments coming in. The comfy couch is a most welcome place. And to learn a little bit more about you, let's just all take a minute and drop into the simple beauty of her motto: no judgment, just love. And then she has all these wonderful products with a purpose. I love that idea, products with a purpose. And so to find out about that, we go to her website. And her website is the letter N, the letter J, the letter J, the letter L, .world. NJJL.world. And Sharon, thank you so much. You've got a lot going on this website. Is there anything you want to make sure that I show the audience?
What you're showing is beautiful. I just want to remind everyone, hello, we're all human and we judge all the time. Every day. So no judgment, just love is something to reach for. It's a moment-to-moment choice to judge yourself less and allow the rest of us to be who we are and who we are becoming.
Beautiful. Thank you so much for sharing that. And it's true. My primary mentor in my life was Marshall Rosenberg, who helped me. I traveled and talked with Marshall, and he really helped me to understand about judgment. And he would always say, don't judge the judge. We judge throughout the day, but underneath the judgment, what are my needs? What are my values? Right? Which of my needs and values are not being met by whatever it is I'm judging? So we bring it back to our needs and our values. So thank you for that. Thank you, Sharon.
Thank you so much.
Sure, hope you'll come back again soon.
Thank you.
All right, well, it's time for some magic. And again, as we were putting this show together, it's so much fun putting these shows together, to be honest. I thought to myself, okay, we're doing a show all about transformation. transforming, kind of shifting our consciousness from the pain of the war in Afghanistan and the pain around 9/11 into a more positive vision. I thought, let's have a magician who can focus on transformation. Well, that, of course, meant that we had to invite the wonderful Paul Draper on with us.
Yay! I unmuted myself. Hi, everybody. Good to see you. So it's, now I have the benefit of doing at least one of these Zoom shows every single day, some days 6 of them. So I need someone to help me. Scott, do we have somebody that can come on and help me?
Valerie is volunteering.
Valerie, will you volunteer? Hi, Valerie. Thanks so much for singing and sharing with us earlier. Where in the world are you, Valerie?
Right now I am in New York.
In New York?
Valley. Not in the city. I'm up in the mountains.
Up in the mountains. Where at in the mountains?
I am in the Hudson Valley in New York.
Oh, beautiful. Up by the river in the mountains. So beautiful up there. Now, are you old enough to remember the movie Ghostbusters?
Yes.
Yes, all right. So you might be familiar with these symbols. They were used by Dr. Rhine at Duke University to study psychics. They were also used by Dr. Venkman on Ghostbusters to study psychics. Now, you and I didn't set anything up ahead of time, right?
Correct.
And you knew that you were going to come on and play, but I didn't tell you what to say or what to do. Is that right? Now,
Correct.
Inside each of these envelopes, I'm going to put one of these little cards, one little card inside each individual little envelope. And it's so important right now in this digital age. I've found how meaningful it is to people to send people cards, emotional cards, cards with our handwriting on it, cards with things that we feel and care about each of them. Because receiving something in the mail is so unique these days for it to come from someone that we know and that we love. And so sending things every day with our personal touch. Inside each of these is a card. I have a prediction over here inside the big one. I'll mix these up, Valerie. It matches your background. Anytime you want, say stop.
Stop.
Right there. Okay, so in the order that you've chosen, I'll pull that apart. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I want you to be the psychic. I'm going to try and send you a symbol here. Which one of these? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Which one matches that envelope?
2.
2. Achad, Shtaim, Shalosh, Arba. Happy New Year. Rosh Hashanah just passed. Inside of here is one symbol and one symbol only. Your symbol is the star, the star, the star. Inside of here ahead of time, I placed a prediction, the star. Fantastic job, Valerie. Thanks so much for helping. Everybody give Valerie a virtual round of applause. Yay! That's sign language round of applause. We'll let Valerie go. Thanks so much, Valerie, for helping me out. Now, it's so important right now that we remember the power that we had at 20 years ago when we all chose to come together. We all chose to come together as a community. If you're watching here in the United States, the red, the white, the blue, that could also be England, right? We have the same colors. But when we all chose to come together and share as one, and it was amazing around the world, the different countries, they came together in song to share with us and to think about America and the great things that America had done so that we could remember the great power of coming together all as one, as I'm sorry, I made a mistake there. I can see the mistake I made. So sometimes you make mistakes and you don't remember to unmute yourself even though you have beautiful things to say. Sometimes you make mistakes and your friends have to step in and tell you that you've made a mistake so that you can fix it, so you can share with everybody. So just like that, now it's fixed. A perfect America, just like we have right now, that's perfect in every, there's still There's still so many things to fix, aren't there? There's still so many problems. Well, it's okay. If we all work together, I of course have we have to have everyone do the magical wave here. Everyone over the top do a magical wave just like that. And inside there, now of course, this is the great American experiment where we're all learning together day by day, piece by piece, to become better people. We're not yet a perfect country. We may never be. But if we all work together and we all love each other and we practice that non-judgment, we get closer every day. Thanks for letting me share that bit of magical transformation.
Oh, beautiful. Just beautiful, Paul. And Paul's going to be back for a second piece, but
I'm going to be back.
He'll be back, but you can also find out about Paul by going to his name.
PaulDraper.com. That's me.
That's him. And it's a wonderful, Paul, you have so much wonderful energy. Thank you. And thank you. I know that every day you donate one magic show to children, senior citizens. So thank you for your service to the world. Thank you.
It's so important that we give back with whatever we have every day. Thanks, everybody. See you in a little bit.
All right. And to introduce our next presenter, here's Rick.
Okay. Okay, can you hear me now?
Yes, we can, Rick.
All right, great. So I'm so excited to bring in our next guest. Dr. Kurt Johnson is a dear friend and close collaborator with We the World for decades. He has worked in professional science and comparative religion for over 40 years and serves on many international committees, particularly at the United Nations. As part of Unity Earth, he co-edits its magazines, The Convergence and Light on Light, and co-hosts its Convergence series on Voice America Radio Network. Welcome to the show, Kurt Johnson.
Thank you, Rick. Thanks so much. So, okay, I want to share some new good news from the world of science. As an evolutionary biologist and as a person of interfaith spirituality. And in the spirit of the theme of this gathering, which is transforming tragedy into rejuvenation, I'm going to entitle it Transforming What We Thought Was Tragedy into Rejuvenation in the World of Science. So first of all, then in science, what was the tragedy? Well, it was the old view of evolution. And this is the one that you're probably familiar with, that evolution is survival of the fittest, and it's the best competitor that wins, and that you only get ahead at someone else's expense, and that's how nature works. All right, so what's been the transformation? Well, as you may or may not know, science changed its mind 7 years ago when it was discovered through supercomputers and all kinds of other new techniques that yes, survival of the fittest is true, but the definition of fitness changes as systems complexify, and especially once there is an intelligent species with conscious choice. Survival of the fittest as the best competitor, the Shark Tank or the dog eat dog, is only true at the most primitive levels of evolution. At the higher levels, and once there is conscious choice, the definition of fitness changes to who is the best cooperator. And I'll repeat that, who is the best cooperator? So that's the new science, and that's the very good news. So what then is the rejuvenation? Well, the rejuvenation is at least twofold. First, we are not fighting an uphill battle against evolution. Evolution trends in the same way our hearts and the great wisdom traditions see it. It trends toward adaptation, successful adaptation, which is evolution itself. So the message of evolution and the message of the great wisdom traditions are now finally on the same page. As we discussed with His Holiness the Dalai Lama at his home in India just 2 Novembers ago, much to his delight. The second part of the rejuvenation is that the message is telling us, get in the driver's seat of your own evolution. Get in the driver's seat. If evolution is trying to serve the whole, and it is, let's put all of our efforts in that same direction as well. And then we'll have the evolutionary wind at our backs, not in our faces, as the old view of evolution would have had us believe. So that's the good news from the new science. Since evolution is adaptation, successful adaptation, we could also say, as Hazel actually said as well, evolution is optimism itself. So I hope that this is a takeaway that you will really find useful. Thanks so much.
No, I'm not muted. Hi, Kurt. Well, first of all, thank you very much. And I want to give people a chance to learn a little bit more about you. Tell us about Light on Light magazine.
Well, actually, Light on Light magazine is one of the 3 magazines, as Rick said, that grew out of Unity Earth. And we started with the Convergence magazine, which was about all the events that Unity Earth was doing around the world and reporting on them, mostly so all those people would have something to show and those events would live in perpetuity. So then we discovered that that dialogue wasn't enough, that we also needed something on spiritual practice and inspired lifestyle. That's where Light on Light magazine came from. And it's really it has the largest circulation of all our magazines. We also made a commitment to conscious business. So our 3rd magazine is Conscious Business magazine. And then the series on Voice America, which was always also called The Convergence, that's where we talk with leaders from all around the world on exactly the direction we're all talking about tonight. Is how do we take this world the way that we all want to see it go? And we actually have a wonderful program. I'll put the link in the chat after I'm done here. At Voice America Now with Gene Houston, Ken Wilber, Rianne Eisler, David Corton, David Sloan Wilson on Toward a World That Works for All. And I think you'll find that really inspiring. I'll put the link in and you can listen to it 24/7 anytime. So that's what that's all about.
Beautiful. Thank you so much. And one of the places people can go to find out more about what he's talking about is lightonlight.us. Lightonlight.us. And Kurt, thank you so much for spending some time and being with us. And we look forward to hopefully seeing you again soon.
You are welcome. Always happy to share good news.
Yeah. And, that's what's so beautiful about this show is that, look, the world, it's a tough time, but there's a lot to be inspired by. And mainstream media focuses on all the negativity. And so that's why we like to bring people that are balanced and sober, but inspiring. And speaking of inspiring, Deborah and I had the pleasure of being up last weekend with the twin rays, Shekinah and Sananda. And all 3 shows that I did last weekend were with them. My Street Talk show, Saturday Night Alive, and the Sacred Sunday show. And it was really quite wonderful to be with them. They are amazing. And we're going to be doing a lot of collaboration with them. We're very excited about that. And so to kind of take us to a really beautiful level of consciousness, I'm going to share with you a video that Shekinah made. It's her singing, and she calls this the miracle video. She was just singing in her temple. They have a beautiful temple, and I actually experienced that my last night there. She did a little concert, if you will, for Sananda and I, and she just sings extemporaneously. And somehow her phone turned on and recorded the song you're about to hear. And then she realized that there was meaning for it to get out to the world. And she created this video. It's very, very beautiful. It's called the Miracle Video. And we're about halfway through the show right now. So this is a good moment for us to drop in, tune into the beauty and the high resonance of her voice, and integrate all the wisdom that we've heard so far. Here we go.
하나 백호게 줄라 여미네하 타티테후아 카베리나 tamcha sabenu darenu noa hana bekoge julad yamine hatati teua nagibod do shahe yichudecha kvevat shamurem Hana bekoge julad yamineha tati tehua Bachem tachalem rachame zirkateka tamid gamlem Hana bekoge julad yamineha tati tehua Asin kadosh burov tufka naheladatecha Ana bekoge julad yamineha tati teua Yachid gelamcha penesocha Kadushatecha Hana bekoge julad yamineha tati tehua Shaveinu kabel ushma sarkateinu yodeat alumo Hana bekoke julat yamineha tati teua Baruch Hashem kavod malchuto leolam va'ed
Just breathing in the high vibration, Shekinah, her voice, her consciousness. Integrating all this wonderful wisdom that we've heard so far tonight from Hazel and Dr. Kurt, Sharon, and more to come. We've got Andrew Harvey and Reverend Michael Lerner, Rabbi Michael Lerner coming. So please stay with us. This is our time for the Global Peace Tribe announcements. And we always want to start by thanking our broadcast partners. We want to thank all those people that help to reach more and more and more of you. And of course, right now, hundreds, maybe thousands of you are watching us on Unify. And so we are so grateful to our friends at Unify for carrying us every Saturday night. We also want to thank John and Summer Raymer and the Sign Network. Again, usually anywhere from 100 plus people are watching us on one of the Facebook groups, channels, or pages that carries us because of the Sign Network. Also want to thank Alan Steinfeld and his YouTube channel. Want to thank Jay Mayer, Jan Kaplan, and Light Touch, such an important part of what's moved Saturday Night Alive forward. We want to thank all of the people that have sponsored us: Tom Palladino, Lori Grace, Wendy Grace, and others. Thank you for all of your support. Finally, I want to again remind you, if you're watching on Facebook or YouTube, come on into our Zoom room. It's easy, just go to globalpeacetribe.com and register. It takes about a minute. And that way you can come on in and be part of our Zoom room. and chat more easily with us. Plus, then we have your email address and we can let you know about all the amazing events that we've got coming up. Because not only do we have Saturday Night Live, but we've got the Straight Talk show every Friday night, my Secret Sunday show every Sunday morning. We'll talk about those in a moment. And we also have special events with the Twin Rays. And you're going to hear about our next really big special event right now from Deborah Giusti, who has some really wonderful announcements. Take it away, Deborah.
Thank you, Scott. And yes, I also want to thank you for all your donations to Moondog Farm. We really appreciate it. All your donations to Saturday Night Alive for the Global Peace Tribe. And I'd love to invite you to help us promote this show so it gets out farther and farther in the world, can spread this love and these good vibes to many other people that would love this inspiration. I'm going to post our promotional video in the chat room, and an easy way to do that is just send out our promotional video so they can see what Saturday Night Alive is about, and then join us on globalpeacetribe.com. Also, if you'd like to join us and help co-create this, we love to have volunteer help or any other kind of help you have. I will post the volunteer form in the chat room. Also, if you'd like to be a sponsor sometime, I'll post my email in the chat room, and we'd love to hear from you and get your message out. We get about 25,000 to 50,000 views per show. So it's growing every week, and we just love your support on that. Also, we are working on a new website. So all your donations are going to go into creating a new website for you that can be really easy to access all the replays and know all the shows that are coming up. So that's going to be coming soon. And next week, we are so happy to let you know that we have another incredible collaborator, and we are going to be following this theme of peace. We have invited Ben Bowler of Unity Earth to collaborate with us, and he has created an amazing show. The theme is celebrating International Peace Weekend and International Day of Peace, honoring peacemakers and way showers. He's brought together some really incredible peacemakers, including Jeremy Gilley, who's the founder of the International Day of Peace, and Avon Matheson, who will share the international peace movement history. And we've got a special promotional video to tell you all about it.
All right, here, let me pull up the video, and here we go.
Hi, I'm Lily Hayden from the group Opium Moon, and we're so excited to be joining Saturday Night Alive, September 18th, celebrating International Peace Day and Peace Weekend. We in Opium Moon come from Iran, Israel, United States, and Canada, from Muslim, Jewish, and Christian backgrounds, and in our music, we make peace through harmony. We'll be doing a special performance for you for this event. We hope you'll join us as we celebrate and make peace together.
It is a very auspicious time. 2021 marks the 40th anniversary of the UN resolution that created the International Day of Peace. It also is the 20th anniversary of the UN resolution that forever fixed the date of Peace Day to be September 21. And we are bringing together two of the key co-creators of both events in a historic way on Saturday Night Alive, September 18th, celebrating Peace Weekend and the International Day of Peace. Avon Madison, co-founder of Pathways to Peace, who was instrumental in the early observances of the International Day of Peace right back in the early 80s, joins Jeremy Gilley, founder of Peace One Day, who was essential in getting the date fixed to be September 21. They're coming together on the show in an extraordinary way to celebrate this incredibly auspicious moment. They'll be joined by Grammy Award-winning musicians Opium Moon, who will be performing live in LA music from their incredible new album, Night and Day. Also, Eric Rabuska of Light Warriors will be playing live. Pir Shabda Khan and his wife Tamam will be playing extraordinary Sufi music for the occasion and will be joined by spoken word genius Baba Israel. Public intellectual Jonathan Granoff, founder of the Global Security Institute, will also be with us on the day, joined by Reverend Deborah Moldo, Director of the Evolutionary Leaders, and Ambassador Musi Hailu of Ethiopia and the United Religions Initiative. My name is Ben Bowler of Unity Earth, and I'm so proud and delighted to be co-hosting this remarkable show. Sponsored by Purpose Earth, please join us for this special celebration of Peace Weekend and the International Day of Peace on September 18th on Saturday Night Alive.
And out of the ethers, there is the real Ben. Hey, Ben, welcome.
Thank you so much, Scott and Deborah. And firstly, congratulations, everybody, to you, Rick and Kurt. What an amazing show tonight has been. Incredible musical performances, and Miss Henderson was extraordinary as well. So congratulations to everybody on an amazing show. And we're super excited. This is kind of, as you said, Scott, a bit of a two-part series on the 11th and then going to the 18th, all part of the 11 Days of Global Unity. And of course, all of it's orientated around the International Day of Peace. So much of the work that everybody's doing at this time of the year is orientated because of that, that stake in the ground that's been established for the International Day of Peace. And it's an incredible honor for us to be hosting Avon Madison, together with Jeremy Gilley, who really will go down in history as two of the key co-creators as to how we got to have a UN celebrated International Day of Peace, which now has been commemorated by 1.5 billion people around the world. And Jeremy Gilley, founder of Peace One Day, is on a mission to double that number over the next 5 years. So it really is shaping up to be our first planetary holiday of significance. And I'm so grateful to you, Scott, and to Deborah and the whole team at Saturday Night Alive for dedicating a whole show to really honoring the way showers, the peacemakers, and celebrating Peace Weekend and the International Day of Peace. And Opium Moon, if you haven't heard of them yet, get ready for like tonight has been incredibly high standard of music. And that'll continue next week with his Grammy winners, Opium Moon, doing a live set in LA during the show, as well as the other musicians, Eric Rabuska and Pir Shabda Khan, as we've said. To have Ambassador Musi Hailu on the show, Jonathan Granoff, Reverend Deborah Moldo, it's incredibly a huge honor, and how this has come together in a beautiful way. So I can't wait for next week. And once again, what an extraordinary, fantastic show tonight was, Rick. Beautiful job. And Scott, to you and Deborah as well. So looking forward to going from strength to strength with, as Kurt said, the evolutionary wind at our back now. So
That's right.
Thank you, Scott. And back to you.
Thank you, Ben. Thank you. That's Ben coming all the way in from Australia. I love how international our company is. And I want to put the spotlight for a minute on Allen and Son. These are two of my oldest friends. Well, it's not that they're that old. It's that we've been working together for about 30 years now. And they are who create most of the videos that you see, including the B-roll of the videos we're going to have with Andrew Harvey and Rabbi Michael Lerner. They create the wonderful promotional video you just watched. So a big shout out to Allen and Son, watching from Virtual World Studios in Boulder Creek, California.
A comfortable couch.
Thank you so much. Hey,
yeah, well, thank you so much. It's so inspiring to share all this time with you guys. You really do make a difference.
Oh, thank you, Son. Thank you. Also, I want to let everybody know that we've got a really cool event happening this Tuesday night. Deborah and I have started doing special events through the Global Peace Tribe. And this Tuesday night, it's going to be two of our absolute favorites. We've got Swami Beyondananda, who is very funny and very pertinent with what he has to say, and Larissa Stowe, one of our favorite musicians. And they're going to be providing an evening of cosmic comedy and mantra-infused rock. And they're calling it a worldwide conspiracy of love. And it's also being called the Weevolution. So join us. And Deborah is going to put into the chat box. And that's why it's important for everybody out there in Facebook land to come on into our Zoom room, because it's easier to see all the links that Deborah puts in throughout the show. So definitely there are a few seats available. This is going to be a Zoom meeting, which means that the cameras are on. We all can interact and see each other. So please join us on Tuesday night. That's from 6 till 8 p.m. Pacific time, or 9 till 11 on the East Coast. We know you East Coasters are used to staying up late. Deborah, do you want to add something?
Yeah, we are offering a special promo code to everyone on the show tonight, so you can get in for the early bird cost. So we want to honor you for being with us. I'm going to put that promo code in there. The promo code is family, because that's what we feel about you. So if you want to come join us, it will only be $22 to join us on this, special, very heart-filled gathering where we could all be together and laugh and could do truth-telling and open up our hearts with Larissa Stowe. So please join us. And I'll post that in the chat room. Use the promo code family.
Beautiful. So that's Tuesday night. That's coming right up. So please do join us. It's going to be a lot of fun. These special events we've been doing have been a great way for all of the members of the Global Peace Tribe to get to know each other, as well as some of our favorite speakers. We recently had Neil Donald Walsh. Previously, we've done things with Andrew Harvey, Cornflower, Kristen Hoffman, and so on. I also want to invite everybody to the other shows that I do. I do 3 shows every weekend: Friday Night Straight Talk, Saturday Night Alive for the Global Peace Tribe, and the Sacred Sunday Show. And tomorrow on the Sacred Sunday Show are going to be 2 of our, again, favorite musicians. You've seen them on Saturday Night Alive, Eostar and Matthias. And they are exquisite. They're going to play some music, and they're going to talk about entheogens. And they are going to really share. And on my Sacred Sunday show, I usually pick 1 or 2 people to really talk about their spiritual journey. Now, when I say spiritual, that's not a religion, not a dogma, but it's embracing life and learning how each individual that I invite onto the show is experiencing life and what a sacred or divine or spiritual life means to them. So please join us tomorrow morning, 10 o'clock in the morning Pacific time, 1 o'clock Eastern, for a very special show with Eostar and Matthias. And then next weekend, it is the weekend of peace. And so on my Friday night Straight Talk show, I don't have a poster for it yet, but I'm going to invite Shay Condro. And I'm putting Shay on. There she is. She's actually in our audience. And Shay is who Valerie told us a little bit about. Shay's going to be my guest along with one of the members of Opium Moon, who was raised on a kibbutz in Israel and now is in a band with other Middle Easterners, all about how even though they're from Iran and Palestine and Israel, they make music together. Shay, tell us a little bit about what we're going to learn as we meet and connect with you next Friday night.
Well, Scott, gosh, there's many places we could start, certainly. What I'd like to share with you and with your audience is a project that started. I'm here in Sedona, and for many years, I was ordained as a Buddhist nun in the Tibetan tradition for about 15 years. And it really just opened my heart and my mind in so many incredible ways, and has deepened over the years my commitment to bring peace and bring an end of suffering for beings on our planet. So several years ago in Sedona, I started a project I call Follow the Peace Trail. And it's just been gaining some traction. And locally, it's been something fun where we do conflict resolution panels. We talk with some of the thought leaders and visionaries from this area. This year, we're going to be, we do workshops and interviews and things. This year, we're wanting to create a format that we can carry throughout the year as, of course, as many of us have talked about, the International Day of Peace is my favorite holiday. It's the one that I think really deserves a lot of attention and could help us to catalyze some real change. But we want to continue that dialogue throughout the year as many other peacemakers are also doing. And part of the theme there is small acts of immeasurable benefit. So the invitation is to help people find ways in their everyday lives that they can support this awakening of our planet through simple things, through their relationship with themselves, through their relationships with each other, through the way we treat our planet. So there's lots of wisdom that's contained in ordinary voices. And so we like to shine a light on that and point to people, share the wisdom of our experience, and invite people just to take a small step towards creating change.
Beautiful. Well, Shay, I'm really looking forward to having you on the show next Friday night. People can learn more by going to Shay, that's SHEY, global.com. We're all going to learn how to follow the Peace Trail. It'll be a wonderful way to kick off Peace Weekend. And I'm really looking forward to getting to know you next Friday night. Thank you for being with us tonight. And thank you, Valerie, for turning us on to Shay. And speaking of Valerie, here's Deborah to introduce Valerie for her next song.
We are lucky to have another song with Valerie, and this is going to be a live performance. She is so versatile with so much she can do, but there's always so much love, so much good juju. And she is the co-founder of the world-renowned Starlight Orchestra, and she creates musical experiences at concerts and workshops and private events. And we're so happy to have you with us again and give us some of your magic again. Thank you, Valerie.
Yay, thank you. And I was just, I'm just looking at behind me. I also want another shout out to Shay. She created all this art that's in my studio. So I'm just gonna move out of the way. She created this for the Sedona Yoga Festival, the banners behind, and here they are in my studio. And that is a painting that's also, she has an amazing collection of work, including transformational jewelry. So I just wanted to share that, you know, there's within everything that we do and we express, there's intentions, and there's it imbued with what our dreams and what we want to share with the world. And I'm doing that with music, and Shay's doing that with all of her projects, her speaking and her art as well. And I want to just, before I do the song, draw a little attention to another very special person, mentor to me, a teacher and a dear friend. Her name is Tao Porshan Lynch. I'm just going to show you. She was 101 and a half when she passed away right before the pandemic. And she was a yoga teacher and a spiritual teacher, among other things. And we've done a bunch of projects together, and I scored music to her poetry and meditations. And it was part of this book called Reflections, The Yogic Journey of Life. And I took some of her teachings and I made a song out of it, and I used her voice and I put the music to it. And the reason that I share this tonight is because with so much going on in our outer world and so much drama, there's always it's important to remember to tune inward, that there's a whole world inside of us and the different dimensions and the different levels of reality. And Tao spoke about this. So I'm going to play along with this track with her speaking, and you could feel free to close your eyes or you can leave them open, but ponder the words. It's called Om Shanti Shalom. That was how she ended every yoga class, with these words: peace be unto you and all living things.
Tune in to who you are and what you are. For you are more than this body, more than mind itself. You are pure spirit. Pure energy.
How are we doing there, Val?
I'm having a little technical difficulty.
I saw that.
I had a little disk overload problem, and I'm so sorry because I was starting to sink so deep into it myself.
Well, here's the good news, and Valerie doesn't even know this, so I'm announcing something that Valerie doesn't even know. So we get to watch Valerie's reaction. Our show on September 25th, we've decided we want to dedicate solely to our musical artists, because we know that a lot of our musical artists is a challenging time. A lot of your festivals, conferences, clubs, restaurants are closed. Music sharing makes it harder and harder. And so on September 25th, 2 weeks from tonight, we are going to dedicate our show to Valerie, Cornflower, Kristen Hoffman, and a couple of other musical artists to, with all the money that we raise going to you guys, going to our musical artists. And Valerie, we're hoping you'll be able to join us either by video or live 2 weeks from tonight. And how about if we finish the song that night?
Thank you. That would be amazing. That would be fantastic.
Great,
That's
great.
amazing. Thank you, Scott. And thank you
very
for
much.
bearing with.
Precious to us. So thank you. And a reminder that you can get more Valerie between now and 2 weeks from now by going to her website, ValerieRomanoffMusic.com. ValerieRomanoffMusic.com. So, and yeah, 2 weeks from now, it's, you know, the music is such an incredibly important part of Saturday Night Alive. And it's always so uplifting. And we really want to honor and support our musical friends that are going through hard times. So we're going to have several amazing musicians. And what's going to be fun is each one will play a song, but they'll also get a chance to share something from their heart. You know, just like Valerie was sharing about Shay, and you know, all of our musical artists have a deep love and care for different things. So it's going to be a unique show 2 weeks from tonight. All right. One of the great joys for myself from Saturday Night Live has been getting to know all the amazing people each weekend. And I've been a fan of Andrew Harvey for probably 25 years. His books have deeply inspired me. His Gospel of Thomas, his A Walk with Four Guides are two of, like, if I could only take 10 books onto an island that I had to live with for the rest of my life, both of those would be on there, with Autobiography of a Yogi and Course in Miracles and a few others. And I've gotten to know Andrew really well through Saturday Night Live, and I can even say we've become friends. Andrew is brilliant. He is a passionate, world-renowned author, speaker. This is a man who's worked with the Dalai Lama. He's written books, over 40 books, and he usually collaborates with other extraordinary people. And he has some very powerful wisdom for us. So I want to invite everybody to drop in and take in the wisdom of my friend, Andrew Harvey. And my little share screen thing is being a little ornery there. Let's try again. There we go. Welcome, Andrew. We are so grateful to have you with us tonight.
And I am so grateful to be with you on this momentous, tragic anniversary of September the 11th, the 20th anniversary. I will never forget, as you will never forget, seeing those images of the towers collapsing. And I will never forget what they meant to me. Because what I saw with my inner divine eye as the towers were collapsing was that the towers collapsing were like the water breaking of a monstrous birth, terrible birth, the birth of all the events that have ensued, which have caused so much heartbreak, so much tragedy to the Iraqis, to the Afghans, and to us, and to the American soldiers, men and women who died in those places. So much blood expended for nothing, so much treasure wasted, so much horrible suffering and fear. And when I was watching that appalling image of the breaking of the waters of a monstrous birth of a new era of terror, I knew from my own inmost intuition and from a series of visionary experiences that we were entering into the era of apocalypse. I knew that. And dear friends, we are now in the apocalypse. It's not a question of waiting for the apocalypse or imagining that it may or may not come. We are in it, and there, all over the world, a series of interlinked and terrifying crises are now erupting and threatening the future of the human race. It is very important to see this clearly. And to help you see this clearly, I want to read what Dave Ray, director of the Enlightened Climate Change, said after the recent IPCC report on the climate, which was called Red Alert, and which is far more dire than anything I could describe. This is what he said. World leaders must have the findings of this report seared into their minds and take urgent action. This is not just another scientific report. This is hell and high water writ large. This is hell and high water writ large. The climate is collapsing. The pandemic is clearly out of control. 1 million species are standing on the brink of extinction. There is a widening and terrifying gap between rich and poor. There is a growth of fascism and authoritarianism all over the world, and especially dangerously in this country. And democracy is hanging by a thread. And there is a great crisis and paralysis of will. All of these crises now are coming together to form an apocalyptic situation which really does threaten the entire human race. So let's take that in for a moment. But the theme of tonight is how to transform tragedy into regeneration. And I want to give you just 3 simple, but I hope profound suggestions. The most important way of transforming tragedy into regeneration is first finding the courage, the strength to face tragedy, to see it for what it is, and to feel it. The way through tragedy is not through magical thinking or fantasy or fostering crazy illusions or pretending it isn't happening. The way through tragedy is to trust that if you face it with your mind open, your heart open, your body open, your entire being open to God, the divine that has allowed this tragedy will mysteriously feed you with the wisdom and the solutions to go through it with grace and learn and absorb and integrate its devastating lessons. I've been through many tragedies in my life, and fortunately, I have learned this very sacred lesson. And each time what looked like death, in fact, prepared a richer, deeper, more compassionate, more vibrant, more miraculous life. So that's the first suggestion. Please recognize that we are in the apocalypse. Trust that this apocalypse is not the end. It's the end of one world, one way of being, one way of understanding everything, one way of living. And who knows how many millions and millions of humans will die, and who knows how many animal species will be annihilated. It's a terrible situation. But if we trust that this too is part of the great divine alchemy, then out of extreme tragedy, through our trust and through faith and through miraculous grace, amazing new possibilities can still and must still be born. The second suggestion is this. In a time of apocalypse, the time that was birthed by that monstrous collapse of the towers, that monstrous unleashing of the dark waters of this new era of terror. In an age of extreme danger, the most important thing that you and I can do is to plunge with an intensity and passion and faith that we have never before summoned into the deepest imaginable mystical practice. Because if we do, and this is something I know from my own inmost experience, we will discover something that will make our reason real and our whole heart expand with wonder. We will discover what the greatest mystics in all the traditions have discovered, which is that the extremist danger contains in its secret heart a seed of unimaginable possibility. The mystics call this process the dark night, and anyone who's been through an authentic dark night experience knows that while you're going through it, you again and again are threatened by insanity, by agony, by wanting to give up, by wanting to die. But they also know that if you can keep your heart alive through mystical passion, what will be graced you is a wholly new level of embodied divine consciousness. I have lived through a terrible dark night, and I have been partially resurrected by it. So I know that regeneration does not come from denying tragedy and apocalypse, but by bravely surrendering to the mystery of regeneration that is hidden at its heart. But you cannot find this out mentally. You have to surrender to the divine and do the deep inner work in trust, in blind faith, in relentless intensity. And then the divine will unveil to you the miracles that it wants to prepare, the miracles of birth out of the agony of death. That's the second suggestion. And please, please listen to me. Because there isn't any way out but through. And in this way through, the real mystics are our most hopeful and regenerative and transformative guide. Without knowing them, I would have gone mad. But knowing them, I trusted them. And I was reborn to do the work that I am doing now, with you and for you. My third suggestion is this. One of the deepest meanings of facing where we are and really starting to do the work of transformation with an intensity and trust that we have never managed before is that both form the necessary foundation for a global, worldwide revolution of nonviolent resistance, of nonviolent love in action through sacred activism. Sacred activism is the fusion at the greatest possible depth in our heart, minds, souls, and bodies of mystical illumination and radical, sacredly inspired action. And sacred activism isn't just one of the tasty dishes on the smorgasbord of possibilities before us. Sacred activism is our last and best hope. So I am begging you on this anniversary of September the 11th, contemplating the miraculous regenerative alchemy of how the divine births out of tragedy and death amazing new possibilities, to dedicate your lives to becoming a sacred activist. The contemporary spiritual movement has been a tragic disappointment to me on almost every level because of its narcissism, because of its magical thinking, because of its addiction to fantasy. And there is no more time for magical thinking or fantasy or illusion of any kind. You and I must now trust God, trust our deep selves, trust our heartbreak, and act out of that heartbreak together with great faith that if we do, we will be showered with miracle and regenerative grace. If we don't, we are in danger of dying out as a human race much sooner than any of us dare imagine. If we do, and I still, despite everything, believe that we will together be reborn as embodied divine human beings, and together with grace and in grace create a wholly new way of being and doing everything. The choice is ours.
Andrew, as always, you are speaking uncomfortable truth and also inspirational wisdom. Thank you so much, and may we take your passionate understanding and clarity and apply it to finding the best ways to truly be of service. Thank you so very much. I want to encourage everybody to go to his website, andrewharvey.net. There's so much here. He has so many resources, and there's so much. And I want to encourage you to get his book, The Hope, which is really all about sacred activism. We've had Andrew on the show a few times. He coined the phrase sacred activism. And put in your name and email address and get on his list and get some of the beautiful free resources that he provides. Andrew is truly an absolute treasure, and we're very, very blessed to have him with us. We are also blessed to have with us Rick, our co-host and collaborative partner today. And Rick, please tell us more about 11 Days of Global Unity.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Well, you know, it's very moving to hear Andrew Harvey talk about these things and the urgency that he was talking about. I think that's something very important for us to all hear, that urgency on many different levels. Socially, you know, we have polarization politically, environmentally, economically. On every level, we are living in an urgent situation. So what I'd like to do is give a little bit more detail about the 11 campaigns that came out of the 11 Days of Global Unity. So the 11 Days of Global Unity are an annual convergence where change makers around the world can basically let people know what they're doing, get more people involved. And the 11 campaigns that came out of the 11 days go all year round. So I'll just say them. So if any one of those or more resonates with you, please reach out to us, go to we.net and connect with us so we can collaborate. So campaign number 1 is unity, which we've all been talking about now, right? And our coordinator for the unity campaign, as you heard about before, is Sharon. And there you go. If you can see her, she's got the we logo behind her, which is great because it is all about we, right?
All about we.
That's right. So we have unity is the first campaign. The second one is interdependence. Interdependence is a little bit different. It's more like understanding how we connect with all the other people and animals and ecosystems on the planet. So conscious interdependence is so important. And our dear friend Shannon Crossbear from the Ojibwe tribe is leading our campaign for interdependence. Then we have environment is the third one. And the environment, we have the Climate Collaboratory. Sue Blythe created the Climate Collaboratory. And there are so many things going on with that. And I'll just kind of say the others. I know we're kind of running out of time. Fourth one is economic justice. The fifth one is health. The sixth one is children and youth. We have so many amazing young people who are stepping up, and we want to expand that number. We have a young woman, a young girl, really. She's 13 in Pakistan named Raheen, and she does stand-up comedy to provide a safe space for the adults to talk about hot button issues. Can you imagine that? She's 13 and she's doing theater and comedy to help the young people, to help the adults to reduce the conflict among themselves. So, and there are so many other young people in the children and youth campaign. Then we have women and allies and families. Then we have human rights, we have freedom, we have disarmament, and we have peace. So all of these together form what we call a blueprint for global transformation. So if you are attracted to one or more of these areas, we want to work with you. We have had more than 600 organizations that have stepped up to collaborate on one or more of these campaigns. And we want to take this even further and go as far as we can. So if you go to we.net, you can sign up your organization and yourself as a volunteer or become part of our We team. And there are many other opportunities. Trends Magazine, which is part of the coalition that Kurt talks about, with the kind of coalition of online magazines and media platforms. And we hope that Saturday Night Alive will be part of this kind of growing interdependent group of media. So all of these things are possible, and you can find out more by going to we.net. So thank you for that so much.
Thank you so much. We're going to hear from Rick one last time to kind of close out the show, but here it is. Like the best website ever, we.net. What a great URL to have. And I want to encourage everybody to come register your organization, and let's all continue to support we.net. And Rick, thank you so much for the wonderful work that you're doing in the world.
Thank you, Scott, for what you're doing. So important with Saturday Night Alive, you and Deborah and the whole team. Thank you.
Thank you. Guess what? It's time for some more magic. And with no further ado, here he is, Paul Draper.
No further ado, but I wanted so much ado. Well, that's about nothing. So what we're going to do instead is share a little magic with you. So I have, I don't know about you, but I've been staying home a lot, and I've been getting delivery to my house. Are you getting a lot of delivery to your house, anybody? Yes. I even in a little community that I have, they still deliver milk in glass bottles to my house, but I'm not going to use it for milk. Instead, we're going to fill it up with water. You know, there's so many philosophers in so many different traditions throughout time who have talked about time and about how times change and how things are different in every generation. Many of you don't know, I used to be a professor of anthropology. I taught at the University of Nevada, Las Vegas before I ran away and became a full-time magician. But in every time period in human history, there are people that are saying, the end is near, it is almost here. But instead, what I ask you to think about is the fact that life is like a river, and we can only put our foot in it once, right? We all learned that in philosophy class. And the river passes by, it continues to flow like time. But our minds are trained generationally. Our evolutionary expert that was on here earlier can tell us more, but are trained to deal with terrifying things that happen in life. It slows the river down a little bit so we remember each and every frame, so we remember where the danger comes from. If I place my hand over the top of this and turn it upside down, the water won't flow out. The second I move my hand, all that water will start flowing. Let's imagine that's that river of time, just like this. But something horrible happened. And so when we thought life was going to flow, everything stood still. And we remembered every moment. And then suddenly we're snapped back and the world starts flowing. Stop! Something else horrible has happened. And we remember where we were and what we felt. And it was like everything stopped. And then the world goes, stop! There's just a little left there now. But we savor that moment and let it flow. Our brains hold on to these moments and we remember them. We hold on to them so that we know danger is in this field. There's a tiger coming from over there. We need to be stressed and worried about this. And evolutionarily, this helped us. It helped us avoid where the poisonous river was and where the tigers lived. But today, we have this anxiety whenever 9/11 comes around. It's natural within us. We think the horrible thing is going to happen again on this date. And it's not. We're okay. We have to remember the things that led to those terrible things, but we also have to see the good in the world when we all come together and when we all share. When we transform our own hearts to be more loving towards others. When we transform ourselves. As an anthropologist, my job is to jump into a society that's not my own and learn, not to judge, not to change them like a missionary might change the culture, but to learn their way of being, seeing, feeling, and believing. And so that's the big message. I have one last thing to share quickly. This is an old con game of magicians right here. We have all these different cards. I want you to try and find the Queen of Hearts right there. Where is she? She's over there in the center. Try and find the Queen of Hearts. Here, do we have someone to help me real quick, Scott?
I think Sharon. Sharon, are you willing to help?
Sharon, will you help me? I love the name Sharon. That's bring us both up so we can both be seen. So we're side by side. Co-spotlet. Sharon is Persian Farsi for lioness. Just say stop anytime you want, Sharon, and we'll stop. There? Oh, Sharon. Sharon, I cheated. Right there, that's that big card right there. That's the 10, that's not the queen. Why is that? Because if it's big on this side, that means it's the smaller card over here on this side, right? So we'll try again. Just anytime you want, say stop, Sharon.
Stop.
Right there. Sharon, I cheated again. You got the big card. Oh, no, that's not fair, Sharon. That's not fair to you. Okay, what we're going to do instead, we're going to have some personal transformation, Sharon. We're going to have some personal transformation. One last peek so you know where it is. Personal transformation to find that queen. One last peek. You ready? Right there. Find the queen. Okay, this time, I want you to close your eyes and I'll move down. You just say stop anytime you want.
Stop.
Right there. How did she do, everybody? Let's see. When we believe in the core of our heart, Sharon, we believe in the core of our hearts. A picture of you, the Queen of Hearts, that's you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Sharon. When we believe in our heart and we believe in the power of people and helping people, we can change the world and manifest that truth and beauty through our kindness and connection to each other. Thanks for letting me share a little more magic with you today. I hope to see you again soon.
Absolutely. You know, we're going to bring you back again.
Hey!
Of course we are. And hey, I want to just remind everybody that his website is his name.
PaulDraper.com. You should hire the musicians and magicians to come to your company parties, your kid's birthday party, your gathering, your scout troop, your school, your university. We're available to do shows just like this for you.
There you have it. Everybody, PaulDraper.com. Hire him. Look at how much fun he is. And he has amazing stuff. We've only seen a little bit. Paul, thank you so much.
Bye.
All right. So our other keynote address is with Rabbi Michael Lerner, who I had the good fortune to do a pre-recorded video with. And to tell us a little bit about Rabbi Michael Lerner, here's our co-host, Rick.
Hello again. So Rabbi Michael Lerner has been an activist for most of his life. He's the editor of Tikkun magazine and the founder of the network of spiritual progressives. I met him in 1995, and volunteering with his group, the Foundation for Ethics and Meaning, led me to leave a full-time career composing and producing music for TV and film. And he inspired me so much that I went on to launch We the World. So I want to thank you personally, Rabbi Michael Lerner, for changing my life. Now let's hear your message for Saturday Night Alive.
Welcome, and thank you so much for joining us today.
I'm glad to be here and to be able to share some ideas. We're facing the 20th anniversary of the 9/11 attacks, and they were horrific. And I'm glad that the perpetrators have been brought to justice. But the United States then went on to occupy and occupy one country, and then attack another country on this assumption that they were also bad, namely Iraq. And we've spent the last 20 years in warfare, which has only recently been ended in Afghanistan. And we've been on the wrong route. You can't build a world in which we care for each other, in which we are safe with each other, if we use violence as the way to get there. The path to safety is a path of love, kindness, and generosity, not one of violence and power over. But this is the problem that we are facing in our country, and it's not just about foreign policy. The truth of the matter is that all over the world, there has been acceptance, at the least at the level of the powerful, that the way to get security is through domination and control of others. Now, this goes back a long way, because actually, ever since class societies and patriarchy have emerged some 10,000 years ago, the elites of the country, the powerful of the countries of the world, have been teaching the rest of us that security comes through domination and power over others. But the domination and power over others actually is a way of extracting wealth from all the countries of the world, including extracting it from the working class of this country, in order to make rich the super rich. And we live at a time when the gap between, let's say, 90% of the population and the upper 10%, and the upper 10%, and particularly the top 1%, all own more wealth than the other 90% of us. And that's, when I say us, I'm in the 90%, not the 10%. So there's a deep selfishness that pervades our country and the world. It's not just the United States, and I don't want to be putting down the United States. It's the whole world has accepted what I'll call the ethos of global capitalism. And that ethos is look out for number one, maximize your own advantage without regard to the consequences for others. That in turn leads people to believe that everybody is out for themselves, and that consequently, the only rational thing for you to do is to maximize your own advantage because everybody else is going to be doing that. And so when I'm a rabbi now, but I was previously a psychotherapist, and in my job as a psychotherapist, I managed to receive a grant from the National Institute for Mental Health to study the psychodynamics of American society and the impact of work on family life. And in that, we asked people, what was it that were leading people to move from the liberal progressive world to the more conservative world, and in particular its assumptions that that we are out, everybody's out for themselves. And what they told us is that actually they have a hunger for meaning and purpose in their lives, but there's no place where that can be actualized in the world of work, because the world of work is built on the notion that your work is valuable to the extent that it maximizes the money and power of the people who own and control those corporations that you work for. Well, it turns out that those people who run those corporations have actually not focused on what's the best for America, not what's best for the people of the world, but rather what's best for their own money. And so there's a deep distortion in the value system of our society. And unfortunately, it cannot be repaired simply by each of us being a good person. Okay, I want all of us to be a good person. And as a rabbi, I'm very proud that my congregation is filled with lovely and wonderful people. And I'm sure your congregations, if any of you are part of a religious community, are filled with wonderful people. But taking care, again, the assumption of much of that is look out for yourself, maximize your own well-being, and not just in material terms, but even in spiritual terms. So the spiritual life in the country also has been influenced by the ethos of capitalism, so that each of us is taught that really what we're here for is to maximize our own well-being, but in a context in which, meanwhile, the larger society and the corporations are following paths that have led to a dramatic environmental crisis worldwide. Again, it's not just the United States. This is the ethos of global capitalism. Everybody looking out for themselves, not paying attention to the needs of others. That's why we at Tikkun, and I'll tell you, we're at tikkun.org, tikkun.org. It's a magazine, an online magazine that I urge you to go to and look at it, because we actually have an environmental and social responsibility amendment to the Constitution that would make a big difference in the way that we are destroying the planet. But right now, everybody is thinking to themselves, yeah, I know that there's this larger problem, but I can't do anything about it. And this is where we need to take a step towards overcoming the notion that nothing fundamental can be changed, and therefore the only rational thing you can do is to pursue your own self-interest and to hope for the best. Well, it turns out that you can't transform things without there being a larger social change movement. And I mean a movement to overcome the capitalist ethos and to replace it with a new bottom line. The old bottom line says every institution or corporation, our healthcare system, our education system, our legal system, our government gets judged efficient, rational, and productive to the extent that it maximizes money and power. We say at Tikkun and our organization, which is called the Network of Spiritual Progressives, which is also online at spiritualprogressives.org, we say that there needs to be a new bottom line. The new bottom line is this, that every institution, corporation, government policy, our healthcare system, our educational system, our cultural system should be judged efficient, rational, and productive to the extent that they maximize love and caring, kindness and generosity, ethical and spiritual consciousness, caring for the earth and paying attention to the earth's needs, and seeing other human beings, not in terms of what I can get from them, how much will they fulfill my needs, but rather seeing every other human being as an embodiment of the sacred and hence deserving to be cared for just for who they are, regardless of whether they do or do not fulfill your needs. And similarly, to look at the earth from the standpoint of not just of can we take something out of the earth and sell it, turn it into a product and sell it, but to look at the earth and the larger universe with awe and wonder and radical amazement at the grandeur of all that is. Now, this is a new bottom line, and you're going to say, oh, well, yeah, I love that bottom line, but it's not possible. Well, you know what? You never know what's possible until you struggle for what is necessary. And every major change that's happened in this country and around the world has happened when some people refuse to be realistic, not to accept the vision that the media and the corporations and even our political leaders and even sometimes our friends tell us is, hey, be realistic, narrow your vision to what is really possible. But as I say, you don't know what's possible until you struggle for what is desirable. You never know what's possible until you struggle for what is desirable. And we need to build a movement that asks for this new bottom line, that wants a world based on love and caring and kindness rather than on selfishness and materialism and maximizing one's own individual well-being. Actually, this is a way to maximize your individual well-being, because the more that people act from this place of caring for each other, the more you get a world that is potentially sustainable. And that's going to also involve us in making fundamental changes in the economy so that the bottom line is caring for the earth and making sure that we don't continue to destroy the life support system of our planet. So this is the great crisis facing us. You can make a big difference in this. You can begin to talk to people about it, but talk to people about the core issue of overcoming that ethos of selfishness and materialism, of overcoming the sense that, hey, there's no other way to organize a society than through a form of selfishness and the capitalist order has put forward. Now, I'm not just talking about socialism. Socialism may be good and is good in some respects in dealing with material needs, but there's other fundamental needs for hunger, a hunger for meaning, for purpose, for a world in which you are recognized and cared for yourself and not just for what you can do and what money you can make. And that world people hunger for. And we need a movement that can talk not just about the material needs of people, but also about the spiritual needs of people.
Wow, so much wisdom between what Andrew had to say and Rabbi Michael Lerner. You know, we're really blessed to have wisdom keepers like this who are out there leading the way for us. So thank you. And thank you again, Rick, for arranging for Rabbi Michael Lerner to be with us. I'm going to bring Rick on, and I'm going to bring Deborah on. In a moment, Marya Stark is going to complete us with some music. And my dog here, this is Jasmine Bear. You've all met her before. And she wants to remind everybody to donate. And I got a wonderful message from Jill at the Moon Dog Farm. So just one more time, take your cameras, put them up close. You know, it's really easy. Just take your phone, put the camera up. And if you haven't donated yet, even if you only donate $5, it'll make Jasmine Bear very, very happy. And it'll help all those really unfortunate or those challenged, I don't want to say unfortunate, those challenged animals that need our support. So let's do that, all right? Let's all be very, very generous. I donated, and I hope that all of you will as well. So thank you. And Jill's trying to give me the list of all the people who donated. And if it comes in before we are done tonight, I'll read the names. So Deborah, Rick, before we go to Marya, are there any final thoughts that either of you wish to share?
Yes, beautiful show again. Just so inspiring that we're all here together, really holding the transformation and change we know that can happen in the world. And so thank you for all the presenters, the beautiful music. It always blows me and Scott away every single show. It's amazing. And thank you, Rick, so much for inspiring the show and doing the work that you did to put it together.
Thank you. This has been so wonderful. And I guess I want to leave you with the words of our dear friend, Jonathan Romanoff, who is going to be a guest next week. He did the keynote address when we launched We.net and the We campaign. I guess it was back in 2009. And the last thing he said was, I hope that we expands so much that there is no longer any them. So thank you.
Yeah. All right. Thank you. And again, one more time, I want to remind everybody that you can support Rick by going to we.net and register. Get in there so that you're at least on his email list and aware of all that's happening and learn about the 11 days of global unity. Well, we're going to conclude our show with wonderful, wonderful music. I am blessed that Marya Stark is a longtime friend of mine. We've talked together and worked together, and she's quite exquisite. So as we listen to her music, let's integrate the wisdom from Andrew and Rabbi Lerner and all the other people we've heard from tonight. And here she is, Marya Stark.
Thank you, Scott, and thank you so much for having me. I am also just integrating the wisdom of these two, everyone here and the last two speakers specifically, and I just am moved to share this song. It's called In Between, and it really takes into that consideration of what do we do when we're standing in the face of the apocalypse and holding and dissolving our connection to magical thinking to give rise to a truer recognition of the intricacy and interconnectedness that we're a part of, and be able to take action there. So this is a song that I would say is related to my own journey with these kinds of things, and it's really the embrace of letting go of the savior complex in order to arise in the union and communion with all that is, and with a spacious heart. And so I offer this to our spacious hearts that are communing with such complexity in these times. And may this song be a soothing balm for the ways that we are opening through, working with the stress and the tensions and continuing to grow through them. I've got all the wonders of the world at my fingers, but none of them bring me closer to the truth. I've pulled cards from the deck to read my soul in their scriptures, but the pictures couldn't show me what to do. It's been a long night, and I'm just a fragile fire. I have pulled the sword from stone, and it was heavy, heavy. I've carved flutes from hollow bones, and now I'm ready, ready to mourn the death of stars. Watch them go out with a baying, and I'll sing every song that was shown in between. sought to know this life and death the same. And every single thing that I've come to feel here, well, I barely have the strength to sing. My voice cracks at the sound of your name, but as I speak, so does the flame. I've pulled the sword from stone and it was heavy, heavy. I've carved flutes from hollow bones and now I'm ready to mourn the death of stars. Watch them go out with a bang, and I'll sing every song that was shown in between, in between, in between. It's been a long night, and I'm just a fragile fire. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Marya. So much. Again, a reminder that her website is templeofthemuse.com, and a special emphasis to go to the Voice of My Womb program that she's offering. It starts October 5th. And I know that the demographics tell us that 80% of the people that watch this show are women.
Well, come and join. We're gonna have a party, and in a couple weeks, I'll have like a little 3-day intro class called Treasures of the Womb, to just get a taste of what kind of things we'll be doing in the 9-month program. So that's on the website. If you go to offerings, that's Treasures of the Womb, and you can come kind of get a little taste of what these vocal alchemy practices are really like, and connecting to congruence and creative process, and opening it to vesselship, and what that really looks like to stewarding our spirit and bringing our genius forward.
Beautiful. Thank you, Marya.
Thank you.
And I want to say I've known Marya for many years, and she's brilliant, absolutely brilliant. So any opportunity to study, to learn with her, to work with her is an absolute blessing. So strongly encourage everybody to do that. I have been reading that people are not able to save the chat. I don't know what that is. I have tried to fix it, but I've saved the chat. And anybody who wants the chat box, send me a Facebook private message and I will send you the chat box. So we'll handle it. And I'm easy to find on Facebook. I'm the only Scott Katamas on the planet. We're going to close in kind of a unique way. We have so many of our wonderful friends who are still with us. I'm going to actually go to gallery view and look at how many people are still with us. Valerie and Sharon, Lorna. Lorna helped us out a lot tonight. Marya, Rick, of course. Mrs. Future, that is son Marion, who does our videos, and Kurt Johnson, all still with us. So what we're going to do tonight to kind of close out is we want to give each of you a chance to put a final message into the chat box. We still have almost 200 people in the Zoom room with us. Any of you watching on Facebook, you can also put it onto the Facebook pages and we'll see it. There's a wonderful piece of music that, didn't mean to start it quite so quickly. Oh, that's Imagine People. So you know what, Rick, I'm gonna need you, I downloaded your whole album. Which of these ones is it? Do you know?
I think it's, oh, you mean which number?
Yeah, which number, do you know?
It's either 3 or 7, I think. Try. I'll tell you as soon as it starts. We're talking about a song called We the World.
Right. So let's see. Let's see if this opens.
No.
Not that.
No, I think it might be 7. It's been a while.
No, how do I stop it?
Nope.
Yeah, now I can't even find it.
You can't find it. I could share it. Do you want me to share it myself?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, so I will, here it is. I'll just open it up. I thought you had it ready there, but oh well. So while it's opening, I can tell the story about this. This is a unique song in the sense that 9 people from 3 countries actually collaborated on this song together. And should I share my screen?
I cannot find where it's playing.
Do you want me to share my screen and share the song? Scott? I have it queued up. Would you like me to share it?
Rick, I think in the chat box, Scott said to go ahead and play it.
Oh, okay. So, oh, thank you. I was just waiting for him to say something. Okay, sorry. Okay, so I'm going to share just the audio, and just so we can see each other. And what I wanted to say is that this song was a collaborative effort of 9 people in 3 different countries, and we made all our decisions about the song by consensus. You know, even the lyrics, the chords, the melody, the groove, the mix, the vocals, and the lead vocalist, by the way, is Heidi Little, and I played keyboards on it. So,
and thank you. I finally figured out how to turn off the wrong song. So,
okay. Should I start it?
Yeah, go ahead. Please start it, Rick.
You hear it?
Yes.
Talk about race and discrimination.
together, force field to weathers any storm. How union makes earth heaven, the bond that we form. Shows we the world, the insects, the plants and birds. We're the stars in the skies, we create the words to describe what we see, to take us where we wanna be. We all wanna be free. We the mountains, reach for the sun. Everybody, part of everyone. We the world, intentional kindness will take away the blindness. Peace and love will eventually find us. Enjoying harmony, creating shares of unity. We spread positive vibes through our communities. We the world, we the people, envision one that reaches all within the soul, that's the mission. Within the heart, joyously shared in peace and art. The art of share, the art of care. We say that's a decent start. The art of action in our lives ensures that the dream survives. Channels hope and equity drives. Giving back makes you tingle inside like stomach butterflies, and that'll let us rise to the sky. We the world. Said we the world.
We the world. We the people. We're the stuff made of stars. We the world. We the people. So near and yet so far. Talk about peace and evolution, where we're all one race, working together with a solution. True equality, one world community, from me to we, all need to be, will set us free. We the world, we the people, we're the stuff made of stars. We the world, we the people, so near and yet so far. We the world, we the people, we're the stuff made of stars. We the world, we the people, so near and yet so far. We the world, we the people, we are made of stars.
Beautiful. That was fantastic. Thank you, Rick.
I'll stop.
There we go. All right. Well, thank you, everybody. It's been a beautiful, powerful, powerful show. One last reminder, please join us tomorrow morning for a beautiful time with Eostar and Matthias on my Sacred Sunday show. The Sacred Sunday show is really wonderful. And it's very interactive. So come join us in the Zoom room, and it'll be a lot of fun. And there's Marya Stark. She's back. So thank you, everybody. Have a beautiful, beautiful evening. And I have saved the chat, and we'll share it with anybody who needs it.